Indianapolis Colts versus Buffalo Bills recap. Plus, could Anthony Richardson be QB1 right now?
There's no better way to get better at football than playing football. So if you want to...
Taylor's going to finish it! I've always been confident in my abilities. I think, I'm a guy that can go out there, and I always believe in myself that I'm going to get open and make the play if they throw me the ball.
The third. Ryan, end zone shot for Pierce. He caught it! Oh, what a...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Colts Cast. We are here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. Here's Jamal Lawrence, and I am Eric Smith, your co-host of the Colts Cast. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Today, we're here with a sponsor for your bouncing bundle of joy. No, we're not talking about a baby. We're talking about your baby makers. That's right. Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. But just like babies, your delicate little guys have sensitive skin and deserve products that are not only skin safe, but made with safe ingredients. That's where Manscaped's Platinum Package comes in. From razors to shower care, this package goes above the gold standard for your body hair. So treat your beautiful boys to the world's finest toys at manscaped.com and use our code COLTSCAST for 20% off plus free shipping. The Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. They designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. Inside the Platinum Package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, ultra premium body wash, ultra premium 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant. I mean, they have everything. They got you anti-chafing boxers, a crop reviver ball spray toner, and the shed travel bag. I mean, it's the complete package, guys. This is something you could take with you, and you are set for the entire week. All essential items to your happiness. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code COLTSCAST at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code COLTSCAST. Use the Platinum Package because the gold standard is no longer enough. Look, Colts versus Bills, guys. Let's get right into it. First preseason game. Lost 23-19, but that's irrelevant. We don't care about the preseason record. There's only one thing we care about. That's the evaluation of our players. Are they getting better? Are they progressing? What's going on? Are they regressing? But our boys did face off in Highmark Stadium. And I'm not going to lie to you all. I watched this game very intensely. Like it almost felt like a regular season game. And why did I do that? Anthony Richardson started. It's just that simple. It really is. We have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So Jamal, I think we have to start with Anthony Richardson, right?
Oh, yeah, we definitely have to.
7-12, 67 yards, averaged 5.6 yards an attempt, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. He didn't take any sacks, finished with a passer rating of 39.2. 2 carries for 7 yards, although I know 1 carry was brought back due to an hold on one of the read options. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, Jamal, I guess we'll break it down drive by drive by drive. Anthony Richardson's first 3 drives. I saw in the opening drive, the first thing I noticed was a lot of shotgun formation, a lot of empty personnel, things like that. It's not like Richardson's going to take the ball from under center. Like, we're going to utilize him because he brings this different element to this offense. We put him back there with the running back. And you have to choose between Richardson or Deion Jackson or Evan Holt. It's tough because you can't leave him unchecked. But I don't know. What do you think about the opening drive, his first drive?
So the opening drive, I mean, he hit that first pass he went for, which was a plus. I was glad to see that, to build a little bit of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was the whole plan. We want to do a quick pass, get you out there, get you loose because I know those jitters are probably high. A
lot of quick passes.
Yeah,
a lot of that.
Exactly, and I like that. I think Evan Holt did a good job. Pushing through on that third down, working with the O-line. They did a pretty good job. But getting back to Anthony Richardson himself, when I think about that sidearm he threw to McKenzie when he did a good job of getting around the edge. Man, that was just a clean pass. Quick release, and that's what I want to see. I want to see that real quick release. He can get a chance to get out there and sling the ball. We know what happens on a little bit later on that drive. We'll talk about that here in a second. But what I really enjoyed watching from the positive side of it was that quick release he had when he knew where he wanted to go. And I think that that's what they're going to be looking for this season, especially with trying to move the ball downfield. You're going to want plays to develop, but if you have these quick, choppy, boom, 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 boom plays, we get a chance to get a quick 5 yards, quick 6 yards, and we're getting first downs after first down after first down. So that way, once you bust open the run game, I think it opens it up for us and makes it a little stronger.
Yeah, you got, just like you said, you got to get out quick. I think that was the whole tempo of the offense. It seems like, if he's in the backfield by himself, we got 4 or 5 receivers spread out. You don't have a running back there helping you with pass pro. You got to get this ball out in time, and you got to know where to throw it to. Now, let's talk about that interception. So,
yeah,
RPO play, some pressure got to Anthony Richardson, and he, like you said about that sidearm, he kind of scrambled a little bit, threw a little sidearm off angle throw. Ended up being an interception. It was very inaccurate. It sucked to see, like, right then and there. But then you dive deep into it and you see why it happened. So the safety went off the edge, something that Richardson needs to anticipate because that safety was right there. So you got to get that pre-snap read down, which I'm sure he did because his intended target was Isaiah McKenzie, and it looked like to me McKenzie did not adjust because he saw it. Richardson saw it. Richardson saw the safety coming off. And he adjusted. He threw the pass. He got it out quick. But McKenzie, it looked like he did not run the right route. It looked like McKenzie should have went, he should have came in more shallow, a little closer. But he wasn't really anticipating the ball. But it's not all on McKenzie because Richardson also threw it inaccurately. So it led to that interception. I think those two things, miscommunication and inaccuracy, led to that bad throw.
Yeah, no, and I was actually going to touch exactly on what you said right there because when you watch Richardson on that first play, he kind of went for like a little pump fake. I wouldn't even say a pump fake. I think he anticipated McKenzie being, like you said, way more shallow. Once he picked up, he saw that blitz was coming. It's going to be a quick little pass, get him out. But it didn't happen. I think McKenzie was just in his route. He wasn't worried about that. So then Richardson was like, oh shoot, what do I do? So that's when he started doing the, kind of the backpedaling thing and trying to figure out what to do with the ball. And at the last second, forced it. Right. And there are a couple issues with that. I mean, we know the accuracy. We've talked about that plenty of times, how accuracy is something you have to develop, and we have to try to see if we can get better. But we also we know that the importance between quarterback and receiver is that connection is going to be super important. But the most important to me, Eric, is one that I've talked about on multiple episodes. And, people have given backlash for it, but the footwork. Yeah, that's what it boils down to me is the footwork. There's the back foot throws because he forced a throw that was off his back foot. And yes, he has the strength, but I don't care really who you are, besides like in Mahomes or something like that. These guys are people who shouldn't be doing it. However, they do it. They still shouldn't. Some of this stuff is lucky, that they get off on their back foot and they can get there. But I think Mahomes is probably one of the most, probably the best at it because how accurate of a passer he is with his background and everything. But I think with Richardson, throwing it like that, if you're going to throw it off that back foot, get the ball out of bounds. I don't want you to try to get to the receiver. Just go ahead and take the L, throw it out of bounds because we see what happens there, especially when I'm sure he was nervous. He don't want to take a sack. He didn't want to get hit. So he was like, well, I shouldn't say get hit, but he didn't want to take the sack. So he tried to force that ball where it couldn't be caught. And then the defender stepped up and got an easy pick when we could have just either got it out of bounds or just taken a sack, but preferably obviously out of bounds.
Yeah, it was 2nd and 6. You got another down to go. I mean, technically you got 2 downs, but you're in 3 down territory right there. Just throw it out. Let's reset. Let's regroup. Let's get back into this. So yeah, the first drive I thought it was the worst drive of the day, but I think progressively he got better. The second and the third drive, he was avoiding sacks. He trucked. Our quarterback put his shoulder down into the defender, and that defender I thought died. That's like, people are going to have to tackle Anthony Richardson when he's a runner. That's scary. Like 250 pounds. I mean, this is like a Cam Newton replica, but faster. I don't know. It's going to be scary. But yeah, with the second drive, I really thought like hit the accuracy issues. It showed up again.
Yeah.
The 2 balls to Michael Pittman Jr. this whole game, they were very high. They were very high. I think he caught one of them. The other one he couldn't catch. I forget which drive it was on, but we're that like yeah, a really good receiver is going to be able to make a play, but we're going to have to keep the ball from sailing, so high. But again, Anthony Richardson is a rookie. He's only had 13 games started in his career in college. So I think that, we got what was expected. We talked about it all off season. Like, there's going to be growing pains. He's not going to come in there and just be this Andrew Luck. Like, he's not necessarily, NFL ready. So we're going to see these mistakes. But I think overall, I mean, what did we see, Jamal? We just saw a rookie, right?
Yeah, we just saw a rookie, man. And that's where, like, people are going to, and of course, every other team, they're going to hate. They're going to hate. But I think what we saw, we saw that there's progress has to be made, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He got a chance to get out there and try. I mean, I think there were a couple of times where he kind of shifted in the pocket. He kind of evaded the pocket too early, especially in the second drive where the pocket was still developing. But again, I can imagine, based off just your previous history, where if your pocket was starting to collapse in your eyes, you had to figure out a way to get out. Again, that's another thing we talked about. That's why he's out there starting during preseason, is to get all these kinks out. We just talked about this in the last episode, Eric, where we're talking to everyone saying how I hope that when we get to the game setting, it'll be a different speed, because when you're used to playing against your players all day, and we know that they're not obviously going to be able to hit you, and some of these plays last a little bit longer during practice. Once you get into the game setting, that 10 seconds you had to sit there and chill is all of a sudden 3 seconds in the game. So you have to learn how to move a little quicker. These are all things that he's going to continue to work on week in and week out. So I am not too, I'm not too stuck on the negatives that happen. Of course, I hate to see the interceptions. I hate to see the footwork. I hate to see the accuracy. But again, these are things that we knew walking in the door. Like you said, it's not like we expected A-Luck to walk in here and all of a sudden he's evading the pocket when he shouldn't be, or he's throwing interceptions when he shouldn't be. Then I'll be like, okay, we're in trouble. But what we saw is just exactly what I saw from some of the Florida film that we looked at week in and week out. So I am not too upset.
But then again, I think we've been talking too much, I guess, on the neutral or negative side on Anthony Richardson. There were some highs, though. Like,
oh, yeah.
That pass to Kylan Granson over the middle for that 20-yard gain. I mean, that he had to get it over the linebacker, but then he couldn't throw it too high, or it was going to be an interception because the safety was sitting right there. But he dropped it right in place, right for Kylan Granson to just get it in stride and get those yards. So that was a really good throw, and that was very accurate. And we all know about that one throw.
The deep ball. That's Pierce's ball right there. That wasn't the. I mean, I don't think Richardson could have put it in any more of a more perfect place. Like, we're just watching the replay. It literally cradled right between Pierce's forearms, hands, and chest. Like, that's exactly. I mean, he couldn't have thrown a more perfect ball.
It was tight coverage, though, I will say.
Yeah.
Got to bring that down. Some people on social media are saying that pass is underthrown. Have y'all seen an underthrown pass before? Like, Alec Pierce did not come back for it. My man was right. Yeah, where he was, in his route. So that, I thought that was a beautiful ball. So, was it 100% perfect? No, but it was still beautiful. And I would probably argue it was. I mean, that was perfect placement. Yeah. Alec Pierce had it. And Alec Pierce did not have a great day. I was actually very disappointed. That was not his only drop either. I think he had a drop earlier in very tough coverage, but hey, I think he's going to work it out. He's going to be fine. I think he did draw a DPI. He's really good at doing those, which is, I mean, essentially moving the chains like it was a catch. So Alec Pierce, he's still stud. I'm not really worried about him, but yeah, Kylan Granson had that really good catch. I just thought Richardson was a rookie. We saw some highs. We saw the lows. Yeah. We expected some lows. I saw some good things. The way he was able to avoid that sack when you got the edge rusher coming at you. I mean, he had his hands all over him, and Richardson just shook it. I don't know. He's just going to be a different guy, I think, because he just affects the offense in such a positive way. He's going to make that box lighter essentially because they have to account for him. It's not like Matt Ryan where they can just stack the box. Like people are going to be tunnel visioned on him because, I know Shane Steichen's got this right. Like he's going to work it right. We saw some read options. We saw some RPOs. We saw a lot. We saw a lot of good things that's tailored to Richardson's strengths. So I'm happy. Look.
Oh yeah. I'm happy too. What would you give him as a grade? Go ahead and let's what would you give if you had to give him a grade?
I would give him a B minus. Like
okay.
we're talking about him in a different manner if Alec Pierce catches a touchdown.
Oh, absolutely.
Because his stat line, his passer rating improves dramatically. His stat line, he's got over 100 yards in 3 drives. It's just, it's really hard. Other people, they had some bad drops. Again, Isaiah McKenzie didn't. He was targeting Isaiah McKenzie a lot. So if Josh Downs, because Josh Downs was playing with that second unit, if Josh Downs ends up starting in the regular season, I'm starting to think Downs is going to be his primary target because they would operate in the same role. Because Downs was kind of eating too with Gardner Minshew.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to say Josh Downs was different. I mean, the way he was able to get to the second level. I mean, just and get every ball is coming at him. I mean, even when he did kickoff return, I like the speed he showed there. He was, he looked real good catching the ball and turning up and running. I think that I don't know, man. I think that he's just going to be that guy for us out of this rookie class because I don't want to say that the other rookies don't have something to prove because that's not true. But I feel like he has that. He just got that extra dog in him where he's like, he wants to be that guy. And for what it's worth to me, it makes it better that he's having to work for that starting spot versus McKenzie, because I think it will elevate his game. I think he can beat McKenzie for that role. I really do, based off what we saw. And I know it's just one game, but I've seen him in practice a couple of times tearing people up. So it's not just something where we saw a couple passes on TV. I've seen this dude in practice multiple times, just getting the ball and ripping it. And I like what he brought to the table against a good Bills defense.
Yeah, he's gonna have a chip on the shoulder. He got drafted, late 3rd round or early. I can't remember, but it was past where he was projected to go. I think Josh Downs was expected to go early 2nd. So we got him for a steal, and it's starting to show. But yeah, Richardson, I think he's just a different beast. The way and we saw it yesterday, just how he has the ability to make linebackers freeze just because of what he does in the first second of the play. I don't know. It's going to be something we haven't seen in a while because of all the quarterbacks we've had in the past. Rivers, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz. He brings a different ability of athleticism, and it's really going to show. New head coach as well, so the offensive system is going to be different. I don't really care what our record is this year, but I just know it's going to be a more exciting year than it was last year.
And I think what I'm most excited to with him, especially with his running game, is that confidence level. Because Eve, I feel like yesterday when he was running, he was very selective. Even when he still, was running dudes over, I feel like he was still kind of taking it light. Once he gets comfortable with that RPO or even just evading the pocket and leaving when he can, when he gets in true open field, like the run that was called back, I feel like if this were, week 2, week 3, he would have tried to run over somebody to get that touchdown. I don't think he would have just kind of taken to the sideline.
He ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
Which I want my quarterback to do, but game definitely on the line, you down 7 points. Yeah. He's going one-on-one with that corner or whoever
he was back there.
Yeah, he Derrick Henry stiff arm him. One thing I do want to talk about with this offense, because it happened, this kicker that we signed to a 4-year deal worth $22.5 million, second highest paid kicker in the league, misses a layup. What was that about, Jamal?
I have no clue. As soon as it went out, I made a joke, as a matter of fact. I watched it because they're talking about how windy it was. I was like, what are the odds of him missing this thing? And then he kicked it, and it just started floating left, and it stayed left. And I was like, oh, my God, he missed it. Dude, sickening. I don't
And
know what it was.
Yeah, I was watching the replay. I was like, it didn't get blocked. Like he
Yeah,
just,
just
he
straight
just
shanked it.
whiffed it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Matt Gay,
dog.
you saw what happened to
threaded.
Rodrigo Blake and shit week 1, baby. Like, stop playing with me. Holy moly! Like, that was shorter than an extra point,
Yeah,
and then he made
yeah.
his extra point, which I'm glad he did, because if he would have
he
missed
better.
that, like,
Yeah.
Chris Ballard was down there, boy. Shit. Look,
Pay way too much money to be out here missing chip shots,
bruh.
That's-
And I was already mad that we paid a kicker all that money. I guess let's talk about some other players on the offense. Gardner Minshew had a pretty good day. He got roughed up on that first drive. I don't know who was out there on that second offensive line group, but we have to do something about our depth. He got sacked on back-to-back plays the first drive. I mean, Emil Ekiyor got destroyed. I see why he went undrafted.
Destroyed.
I'm not even like trying to play, but like that backup that backup offensive line group needs work, because the starters, I saw their ups, I saw their downs. Like when we did the 4 running plays back to back and we could not get it on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
Mm-hmm.
With Jonathan Taylor back there, you're going to get that, right? So Evan Hull, what was it really the offensive line not getting enough push?
Right.
Or was it because it wasn't Jonathan Taylor? I don't know, but I do know that backup was the second stringers.
It's garbage.
Hey, like I said, Gardner Minshew, perfect 6 for 6, 72 yards. He led a drive, a touchdown. Yeah. The running game, Deion Jackson probably had the best day. Averaged over 5 yards a carry. He did what he could with his carries. Last year he was used a lot in the pass catching game. I remember he had a game where he had like 10 receptions. He went off. But even Evan Hull, he was catching some passes out of the backfield. We got some good pass catching backs. So like, I'm not mad about that. You know, anything you want to talk about, Jamal?
Only thing I want to say about that second group is if I'm Shane Steichen, I'm not letting Richardson play that second group. I'm making him stay with the first group, because I don't want to reinforce any bad habits, because as bad as they played, Minshew, and this is where the difference between Minshew being a vet quarterback versus Richardson being a rookie quarterback, only 13 games, would have made a difference, because Minshew got ate up back there the first couple plays, and he kept his composure, still stayed calm in the pocket, was able to complete throws. I like to think that as much as, like I said, with Richardson just not having the experience, he would have been trying to evade that pocket, or trying to avoid getting hit, rolling out when he shouldn't be, maybe making a bad throw here and there. So I want him to practice in the most ideal situations, and I want him to play in the most ideal situations. So we need to keep him on that first group, let Minshew do his thing with the second group. I know he needs to get the reps with the first team as well, but he can get that in practice. As far as it goes for me, any preseason game, I need Richardson to be in the most like perfect element, because I just feel like if you put him in that second group element, and it could have just been a one-off, but I highly doubt it. But if you put him in that second group element, it's going to reinforce bad behaviors, and I don't want that. Like, I want him to progressively get better. I just make him as comfortable as possible.
I hear you. Hey, well, Gardner Minshew, I mean, he didn't let it phase him. Like I said, he was perfect. Took those 2 sacks and let a drive for a touchdown. Mike Strawn's catch, we get one of these every year, 1 or 2 of these, whether it's in the preseason or training camp or OTAs. This man makes a monster catch and makes me want to call him Mega Strawn. So it was an amazing catch. He leaped over the defender, grabbed it, reeled it in. Like, those are some strong hands. I want to see if he can carry that into the regular season. I want to see, we always have this hype about this dude, and I want to see him, flourish, but I gotta see it in the regular season. So
yeah,
but
agreed. That was a dirty catch though.
Awesome catch. Yeah, so that was probably the standout catch of the day. But overall, like, the offense moved. Again, Anthony Richardson should have had a touchdown pass. He didn't. That's fine. He's going to get it in this next game. All good. Like, I was content with what I saw. So
Yeah. Jitters are out. Jitters are out. So we're good now.
Jitters
we're good
are
to go.
Yeah. So he about to be like it's just up from here, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Look, defense, just be. I mean, I feel like they held down their own. Now, I do feel like cornerbacks look kind of suspect. I ain't gonna lie, Julius Brents, he had a rough day in coverage. I mean, he was playing zone a lot, but like he was given a lot of cushion here and there and just giving his receivers room to play with. I think you got to play more aggressively. You got to tighten up right there. 3rd and 5. I don't want you dropping 10 yards back. Like I don't know. He just didn't have a great day. Darrell Baker Jr., he had a nice pass breakup. Kind of a sleeper in the corner group. My boy Darius Rush, your boy Darius Rush, our boy
pick
Darius.
6, baby.
Good pick 6 because I think it was deflected. Somebody caused the deflection. I can't remember who. I don't know if it was the receiver itself or another player. I think it might have been one of our players. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but he caught that. I mean, it bounced up, tipped up to him, and he took it to the house. And he did his job from then on out.
Yep.
So I like to see that. So Darius Rush, he's on the uptick. Shaquille Leonard, see him back out on the field. He didn't do anything as far as stats, so the box score goes, but just seeing his presence out there, I think, is a huge deal for the Indianapolis Colts. Don't you think?
Yeah, and I hope he remains out there, man. We need him out there. Like I said, all off season, he is the heartbeat, for that defense, for what it's worth. So we need him out there because it elevates the team. And the turnovers are gonna be a big issue, big thing for us this year. We got to get more turnovers than we did last year. And I really feel like with him on the field, that helps elevates the team and create those turnovers. Not necessarily him doing it, but him just being in the places that he is, where quarterbacks are trying to avoid him or running backs trying to avoid him, opens the door for other players to step up and create those turnovers we need.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. One guy I saw that was kind of all over the field and he got a lot of PT, Grant Stewart. He's our special teams ace, but he had 12 tackles yesterday. I'm like, I think he hungry. I really do. And he said, I'm gonna kill on special teams, but look, put me in, coach, because hey, he was getting it. And our linebacker group, we like to have depth there. We really do. But yeah, our defense, I thought played fine. Some ups and downs. Al-Quadid Muhammad, he's back with the team, and he touched the quarterback twice, got a sack. Dayo Danabo, a sack as well. So that's really good to see. Yeah, we're getting that pressure. We like to only send 4 at the quarterback. That's what Gus Bradley likes to do. So if we can get pressure with just 4, blitz low percentage of the time, I don't know. We've seen it stop a lot of offenses last season. We shut down Mahomes. I won't say shut him down, but we did enough to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Gus Bradley, I feel like, is an underrated defensive coordinator. I think he's got this in the bag. We just got to figure out our cornerback group. Can we get Shaquille Leonard healthy? Can our defensive line take that next step up? Kwity Paye has been, he's been on an ascension. Samson Ebukam is replacing Yannick Ngakoue. We didn't see DeForest Buckner out there, but I don't know. I think our defense can be underrated this year. They really might be the unsung hero, but we'll see.
I hope they are underrated. Yeah, I hope they are underrated. That way teams undershoot them every single time they walk in that stadium, and they can show up and show out because we got the tools, dog.
I think we do. We have a lot of top players at some positions. So, especially Shaquille Leonard. Oh, man. Tired of hearing about Fred Warner, guys. Y'all know that, right? He nice, but, prime Leonard.
Different.
Y'all know who I'm taking. But yeah, there's some players on the downtrend, and if they don't pick it back up, I'm gonna disown them myself. I'm looking at you, Matt Gay. Unacceptable.
Dude got paid and said, "I'm done." All
Yeah.
right.
Jonathan Taylor is supposed to be back next week, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully he passes his physical, man, get this clearance done and all this so we can get him back on the field. Stop
Yeah.
messing around, dog. I
Stop
ain't got
playing
time
with
for these
me.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. I need we haven't even seen a JT Richardson backfield. Like we saw what it could have been, and we had Hole back there. We had Jake Funk. We didn't even have Zach Moss. Like, I don't know, man. There is some deep potential with this offense. Like what I saw yesterday, I don't care if it's preseason. It's all clicking. It's all clicking.
It is. But I'm just telling you, the last thing I want to say, Eric, is just when you think about JT out there with Richardson, imagine as a defensive end or linebacker, and you got to commit to Jonathan Taylor or Anthony Richardson. One of those options is going to be wrong. It's going to be wrong. And you got to figure out which one do you want to commit and which mistake you want to make. That'll be a frightening thing if I'm a defensive player.
And Richardson has to make the right read too.
Yeah,
And
he
it
does.
seemed like he was making the right reads yesterday. I think there was one where I think he could have took it for himself and took off. But look, nobody's perfect. I gotta work yeah, no, you're right, Jamal. Choosing between JT and AR5, I don't know. That sounds like a death sentence.
For real.
Oh man, but I had fun. That was a very fun game to watch. I think that's going to be the tone of the Indianapolis Colts this season. It's just going to be fun, guys, because it's nothing but going up from here. Like the bottom. If it all falls out, it would probably be like, Anthony Richardson ends up a bust, but we won't know that until, down the road.
Well,
and from what I saw yesterday, he looked like just like every other rookie who played this weekend: Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Levis. So, hey, we about to get it popping because it's I don't know. Vegas saying 6.5 wins for the Colts. We'll see.
Oof.
That's what they're saying.
Let's get it, dog. I'm ready for it.
I am too. That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. Guys, let us know in the comments what you all think. It's a very long episode today, but we had a lot to talk about. I'm sure you guys do too. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We'll be back next time to give you some more content, guys. Take care.